showman who ever lived. So the sooner you stop with the questions and start telling my story, the better. 1. Who was Harry? If you wanted to describe Harry in one word, hungry would be a good one. When he was growing up, he was often hungry for food, but more importantly, he was always hungry for adventure, challenges, fame, and success. He refused to let anything or anyone beat him. Harry always said he was American, but this wasn't true. He was actually born in the city of Budapest on March 24, 1874. And Budapest is the capital of Hungary, so you could say he was a hungry Hungarian. And his real name wasn't even Harry. It was Ehrich. Shh, Mother, don't tell everybody. Harry and his mom didn't speak English. They always spoke to each other in German. How did Harry end up in America? Harry's dad was Meyer Samuel Weisz. He was an important Jewish scholar and lawyer, so he was known as Rabbi Weisz. Harry's mom was a small, lively woman, 12 years younger than the rabbi and named Cecilia. When Harry was a baby, he already had older brothers plus a stepbrother from his dad's first marriage. At first, life was good. But when Harry was just 1 year old, his father suddenly ran off. I'm going to America. Bye. But I'm pregnant again. Nobody knows for sure why he went, but according to one story, Rabbi Weisz had been challenged to a duel by a Hungarian prince and had ended up killing him. I guess escaping must run in the family. It was 3 years before the rabbi could arrange for his family to join him. In the meantime, Cecilia struggled to raise the boys on her own, and that included baby Theodore, who was born after his father had gone. Little Harry was just starting to walk and talk. He could see how hard his mom had to work to look after them all, and he adored her for it. Whenever he screamed, she would hug him, and he would calm down so quickly it was almost like magic. Of course, she hugged the other boys too, but they soon grew out of it. Harry never did, even as a grown-up. Harry's dad sent letters home from the United States, and eventually, when Harry was 4, the family sailed across the ocean to join him. They all crammed into the cheapest section of the steamship Frisia, sleeping on wooden benches and eating disgusting food. Harry and baby Theodore clung on to their mom for 13 long days and nights as the boat rumbled and rocked its way to America. When they arrived, it must have seemed like an alien world. The language was strange, the buildings were all modern, and everything was faster and louder. Even their name changed, because as soon as they got off the boat, the officials decided the Z in Weisz looked too foreign, so it became Weisz with 2 S's. They finally settled down with their father in the state of Wisconsin by the Great Lakes, in a place called Appleton. I always told people I was born there. And in some ways, it was where Harry was born, because Appleton was where little Ehrich started to turn into Harry Houdini. 2. Harry and the Headless Man. By the time Harry was 8 years old, he had 5 brothers and a baby sister, and life hadn't gotten any easier. Harry's mom never managed to learn English, so the family all spoke in German. Harry never lost his German accent. Harry's dad struggled to find work, and on one awful day, Harry's baby sister, Carrie Gladys, had an accident that left her almost blind. Money was so short that Harry didn't go to school much. Instead, he did anything he could to bring home a few extra coins. He ran errands, polished shoes, sold newspapers, and he even begged on the streets. Sometimes he'd be joined by his little brother Theodore, whose family nickname had become Deshi for short, and then Dash. Harry and Dash were best friends for life. One afternoon, they turned a disaster into an adventure when they proudly headed home with $2 in change. Dash